back foot. He has to leave the pocket, throws to the end zone, intercepted! Intercepted!
Cameron Kitchens, we gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. He from the crib too. He gonna try to show out against Miami. He gonna try to show out. That's how it always
20,
is.
down the right sideline, cutting inside midfield. It's Cam Kitchens all the way back with a flag down.
How did he fall to the Rams? Make no sense. Make no sense, bro.
10-5, touchdown LA.
Rams, they just good at drafting. I'm convinced.
Hey, yo, I don't know what you do at the crib, B, but keep doing that.
He funny, man.
Playmaker. Believe it.
It's 2nd and goal, Seattle.
Hey, Tango.
Shotgun snap, Geno Smith. Play fakes, rolls right, throws, intercepted again.
Another
Taken
pick.
away at the 5.
Kitchens. Tua, be careful. Be careful. You know, you had one player pick you off twice against the Buffalo Bills. This might happen again if you don't be careful about Cameron Kitchens. You know, he a rookie, but at the same time, he out there making plays. This was a breakout game.
For the 2nd consecutive possession, the Rams have a red zone interception.
Give him 20 mil plus a year already. He gonna be asking for it soon. If he keep on playing like he played against the Seahawks, he gonna ask for that money.
That's what the f I'm talking about. Damn, nephew. Hey, you gotta take me out to eat for that.
What?
A line in the out. He does
That
get
made
it
no
off.
sense.
Kenneth Walker tries the left side. He's turned away. The Rams did it on defense. A
Good run
stop
stop.
on 4th down. And now any points for LA, and they get out of here with a win. Bootleg left side. He flips his hips. He fires. He's going deep.
Stafford going
DeMarcus brought it in with
Easy.
one hand in the end zone for a walk-off touchdown.
DeMarcus Robinson was out there looking better than Cooper Kupp and Nakua. This coaching staff is amazing. Them boys amazing over here.
39 yards. DeMarcus calls
Top tier over
game.
here.
Hey! What the What the Oh my! No way. Ain't no way he won. One hand that game.
One hand that bit, but shout out
Thanks
to
for watching.
DeMarcus. You already know what he is. Gator Nation. You already know, man.
Stars definitely align for us and for our guest this week. Rookie safety Cameron Kitchens is here to react to his record-setting day in Seattle and to preview the matchup with Miami, which just so happens to be his hometown. Thanks for being here.
That boy rich as hell. That boy still wearing what, A6? What? I think those are A6. I think so, man. But hey, I respect that right there. I respect that. Y'all being cautious about y'all bread. Y'all not just blowing it. You know?
Glad for having me.
Can you give us a sense of what your last 24 hours have been like?
Been a lot probably to most people, but you know, it's kind of normal to me. You know, for the most part, just my hometown people just congratulating me on a good game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll focus a ton on your individual lens in this episode, but why don't we start with the team perspective, okay? And the 3-game winning streak. How would you describe what that win in Week 9 meant to your Rams?
Just Coach McVay. You know, we have those meetings all the time. We had them in our off-season training, and then we have them every Friday. It's just always talking about competitive endurance, you know, just outlasting the opponent. And you can see that game had its ups and downs. You know, we kind of ended on a bad stretch at the end of the first half, but we came back in the second half, and it wasn't great, but we found a way to put out a W.
What do you remember from the halftime locker room?
It was kind of bittersweet because outside of them, I guess them last 5 minutes of the first half, we was dominating. You know, offense didn't get it, you know, rolling yet, but we knew it was all gonna come together. And defense, except a few bad plays, was playing, you know, outstanding. So it's one of those things like we just gotta eliminate those 3-4 plays, and you know, we all good, and it'd be a perfect game. So that was the mindset going in. You know, just keep to the standard.
Cam, this show is a mix of both on-field performance and reflections and then getting to know you off the field. This is the rare episode where I think we got to focus between the lines because of what you did in Seattle. Let's go one interception at a time, okay? So we're in the fourth quarter. It's a tie game. Seahawks have 1st and goal. Tell us everything we need to know about 103 yards going the other way.
Man, first is just doing your job.
That's Ed Reed right there. Ed Reed. Both came from Miami. So he has some shades of Ed Reed in him. He do.
You know, I had to flats that play. I went to cover the running back. And then I see Geno kind of scrambling. You know, our D-line always going to end up in his face. So he was just waiting for the opportunity, you know, just to capitalize on his mistake. And, you know, you just seen the guy come from the, you know, I felt the guy come from the other side.
Just natural.
Geno made a mistake throwing my way.
First pick, he did that. First pick, bro, he going to be a legend. He going to be a legend.
And I just made him pay for it.
Does BY get the shout out for the pressure to make it all possible?
He does. Shout out BY, please, because he going to be mad if I don't. He was talking about in the locker room yesterday. He just kept staring at me. He talking about something. You still didn't say thank you yet. You still. I was like, yeah, thank you, BY. Because at first I didn't see him on the play as he about to sack him. I just seen when he made the block for me. So I said, thank you for the block. He told me something else you missing too. I was there to, you know, to cause a throw. And I was like, thank you, BY. So he was happy about that one.
Agent Zero, good looking out.
Yeah.
Did you see the flag down as you went by?
I did see the flag, but I think it was probably like chop or something. I didn't think it was nothing we did. So
yeah. You knew that was going to stand?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. I like that.
But either way, you still got to go all the way down there just in case if it still stands. Still got to do it. That's why I see a lot of NFL players go all the way to the end zone and then come back. You know, that's what they're going to coach you during practice.
Our cameras captured a special moment as you made your way back to the sideline that I wonder if I can ask you about. Stafford gave you a big embrace and whispered something in your ear. Do you remember what he said?
Not exactly. I was in more of like a flash out moment. It just felt like a little movie to me. So
we should ask him what he said.
Yeah. He probably remember.
All due respect, Nine, but like he didn't hear a single thing you said.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. You definitely carried it across the goal line.
Yes, I
right?
did. Yeah.
Have we confirmed that?
Once I looked at the video, I made sure. But during the moment, I wasn't sure. So I made sure to pick up the ball. And I was making sure that McVay showed that on Friday about not dropping the ball before you get in the end zone and how it's a simple mistake some people make, but just don't let it happen. So when I seen that ball,
y'all better be like this
like,
before
I'm not gonna be the one on
y'all go in the end zone. Right?
Because of Malachi Corley the week prior. Okay, so that was top of mind. Sean and Matthew were both giving Cam grief in their post-game press conference, saying the best play he made all day was recovering his own fumble in the end zone.
That's funny.
You get credit for your first pick. And I guess your first fumble?
Yeah,
I'm still surprised they scored it that way. If you could go and like convince them, would you want them to change it or do you like it just the way it is?
You know, it's still a 103-yard pick six, and then I get a fumble recovery. So
all right, we'll leave it as it is. We'll leave that to the scorekeepers. A do-over on the celebration, though. What would you have gone with? And did you have enough oxygen to pull it off?
I did do a celebration, but nobody got it on no camera because I dropped the ball, picked up the ball, and then a bunch of extra stuff. And then by the time I did it, all the cameras was gone. But yeah, I would have probably ran through the line fully with the ball, kept the ball in my hand, did the celebration, and kept the ball and ran to the sideline.
Okay, so that's the takeaway here is for all defensive backs, going the other way for a pick six. Yes, for the sake of your team, hang on to the football, but don't ruin your own celebration. Don't steal your own shine.
Taking all the time away.
By dropping it too.
By dropping the ball.
Maybe my favorite memory, one that will last with me, is your presence of mind in your post-game interview to crack a joke about that entire moment and to bring it full context because the backdrop of that game was that DK Metcalf could not go for the Seahawks, and here's what you said afterwards.
When I picked the ball up and seen nobody in front of me, and then when I seen BY kind of make that block, I knew it was nobody else catching me. And then they didn't have DK on the field, so I didn't have to worry about him running me down.
So I think what you're referring to there is a game from a couple years back when Buda Baker in 2020 got tracked down with DK running like 22.6
I would show y'all that, but I would get copyright if
miles per hour.
Yeah, it's coming out like a madman chasing him down.
Is that a memory that just like haunts all defensive backs in the National Football League?
It does, and it's like not too many people just gonna come out of nowhere and just hawk you down. First of all, just have that type of speed, and then just have that type of willingness to go make a tackle. Because once it's kind of past the receivers or mostly the whole offense is kind of like he long gone. But I was just happy he wasn't there to play. Yeah.
We haven't talked about this, but I think you ran 4.65 at the combine. I'm guessing you feel like you're faster than that.
Yeah, you know, lights and, you know, it's probably a bunch of stuff that kind of went into it, probably running slow. But I'm from Miami. You know, you got Miami speed. You know, you show up in game time.
I like that right there. Yeah, he got that Miami speed. I like that answer.
That's right. So that, I feel like, was your redemption or prove it moment.
Yeah. I was thinking that in my head, too.
Were you?
Yeah.
Like, I got to run 103 here to make sure that nobody ever talks
about
it.
I'm talking about after and seeing how fast I was running. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't 4.65 right there.
You know what I need to do? I need to go pull your GPS speed.
Yeah.
We'll find that. We'll follow up on that.
Probably like a 19. It looked like a 19. 18.
Some superlatives, and let me just brag on you for a second because that was a historic play. It was the longest defensive touchdown in Rams history. It was the longest defensive touchdown in the NFL in the last 7 seasons.
Wow.
Tied for the longest interception return by a rookie in NFL history. The last guy to do it was Pete Barnum in 1926.
Who?
Just so you know how long it's been. But here, I like this too. Longest interception return by a player younger than 23 in NFL history. And you just celebrated a 22nd birthday?
Yeah.
All right, so belated happy 22nd birthday.
He's going to be a dog. Simple as that. He's going to be a dog.
You're the youngest Ram. You and Joshua Cardi, both 22.
Yeah.
So there you go. But here's where I think it comes home. Last 3 decades of NFL football, only 2 defensive touchdowns have been longer than yours on Sunday, and they both belong to Hall of Famer Ed Reed.
Hey, Dolphins, be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Be careful.
Why do you react that way?
That's and that's greatest safety all the time. Just to be even brought up in the same situation or a conversation as him is great.
You have a special connection through Miami?
Yes, sir.
What has he meant to you as a example, mentor?
Everything. Like I said before, that's one greatest safety ever to play the game. So just to learn from him and, kind of have that competitive, nature with him and conversations with him is just great. All he does is motivate. And I said in the press conference yesterday when they was asking about, after having the first pick, what made you, stay hungry to get a second one? Because I remember, I can't remember what game it was, but after I caught one pick, Ed Reed came to me on the sideline at UM. He was like, it's not illegal to catch another one. Like, it's not illegal. Just go out there and catch as much as you can.
Yeah, that's cool right there.
With me, I don't really settle for one. I'm trying to lead the game with 8, 9 picks, if possible. So
that conversation must have happened before your 3 interception game against Georgia Tech in 2022.
Yeah,
right? Okay, so you put it into practice.
Man, we let guys like this get away from Miami. Guys like this, man, sickening, bro.
And you did again yesterday. By the way, his longest 107. He had 107 in 2008, 106 in 2004. Just in case you want to track him down some point in your career. The second pick, maybe not as big of a highlight. Yeah. Obviously, I didn't lead with it. Maybe not as historically significant, but I think it was a more impressive catch. Like, that was wild.
And it came out of nowhere.
How did you see it?
It was just a last-second reaction. Yeah.
Because you were like the tight end was between you and the football, and you came around the blind side to catch it.
Yeah.
That's just good vision right there.
Just instinct?
Good vision.
Just instincts.
That was unbelievable.
Good as
How about Fisk, by the way, with kind of the chuck on that sifting tight end to disrupt the time?
Him and Hoyt, they causing havoc on that play.
So you touched on this a little bit already. I want to follow up, though. When you're playing behind this type of pass rush, as a defensive back, you must feel like there's multiple opportunities every game where the opposing QB is just going to glitch because he's under such duress.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys hunting those opportunities right now?
That's how it's always been, from week 1. Just taking, the opportunities ain't come at first, but when they started to come in bunches, and you could kind of see that over the last few games.
Yeah. Well, with that 2-pick performance, you're still only, let me do the math, 2 behind Jaylen McCullough.
Yeah.
For the Rams rookie lead.
Jaylen is the real ball magnet.
Is he living right or what?
That's literally what they say every time you come to the sideline after a pick.
I mean, not that
How much picks them boys got throughout the whole year? I got to check that out to see. Los Angeles Rams.
The Rams will play the Dolphins in Inglewood on Monday at 8:15 p.m.
Hey, y'all be careful. I heard it's dangerous over there. That's what I heard. Go to stats. Interceptions. McCoff has 4 interceptions. 4. Let me see how much Kitchens have. Kitchens has 2. So in one game he got 2. Let me see what McCoff did. McCoff has 4. I don't know in how much games he did that in. Right now we on week 9, week 10. So that's not bad. 4 interceptions in 10 weeks. A lot of NFL players can't do that. A lot of NFL players can't do that. So there could be some talent right here as well. So don't sleep on him. Do not sleep on him.
He hasn't earned them.
Yeah.
But I've never seen someone run the table on a tip drill like this before.
And the crazy part is he's going out there with probably 10% of the playing time, and it's just probably like
Crazy.
4 picks, 35 snaps.
You're so right. When he got his the other day,
Yeah, he's not even the starter. I'm pretty sure about that. He's not the starter.
I think I looked, he had played like 60 snaps.
Yeah.
And has 4 interceptions. Unbelievable.
Don't get no better than that.
Unbelievable.
Bro, start him. See what happens.
Let's go
He
to
might be
overtime.
Xavier
I want to
Howard.
get your view and your reaction on a couple of plays. First, how about that 4th down stop on defense? I think you were out on that, right? Because they were in jumbo.
Yeah, it was in jumbo, yeah.
All right, so where were you watching it, and what was your reaction?
Right on the sideline, and then I was just yelling to the top of my lungs.
All right, let's fast forward. Let's spin it forward. Can you believe you're going to be playing Monday Night Football, your first Monday Night Football game?
Yeah.
Against the Dolphins. You told me you weren't a Dolphin fan growing up, but you're still Miami born and raised,
Still
right?
Miami born and raised. Yeah.
How, fam? How?
Well, I'm sure a lot of your friends and family.
That made me
Family is definitely
sick.
Dolphins fan,
Okay.
except my dad. Yeah.
Who's
Cowboys.
interesting.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Okay, so you grew up playing youth football for the Falcons and then just kind of adopted the Dirty Birds as your team.
Yeah.
There you go. And you got some Cowboys in you as well. All right. Wow, their receivers. Speaking of Miami, Tyreek, Jaylen, OBJ, loved dearly in this franchise.
Mhm.
Tell us about your week of preparation, what's going to take to deal with their speed.
Just being intentional. You know, I think that's the biggest thing with us every week. You know, just not, focus on ourselves too much, but just being intentional on whatever the coach's game plan is. You know, just going out there and executing. So that's all it's going to be.
Just to deepen our audience's understanding of your roots in that area of the country, was it Miami Northwestern,
Yes, sir.
your prep program?
Yeah, the
The
Bulls.
5A state championship,
Petty.
3 years in a row, 17, 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
And then first team All-American honors at Miami, and now here with Los Angeles. Quick word on your draft story,
He
because
just
I
stayed
heard
another
from,
year with
from our
Cam
side
Ward.
of the equation that the
Should've
Rams front
stayed.
office was very much looking for rookie safety with these things: high football IQ, urgent physical demeanor, and a ball hawking reputation.
That
How do you-
explained me to the T.
Okay, you said it. How do you think your tape matches that?
Exactly everything you just said. You know, football IQ, you gotta, it's one of those things you gotta have. You know, and it goes with instincts.
Mhm.
Because somebody can have instincts or quote unquote instincts, and if you don't know no football, the instincts won't matter.
Yeah.
You know, and then like you said,
Kinda.
being physical, you can't just go out there and just get pushed around or anything like that. You know, I won't think I'm the most physically imposing person, but you're not going to see me pushed around. You know, I'm gonna go out there and handle what I gotta handle, and then ball hawk is just being around the ball, so and making the plays and capitalizing on the opportunities.
Who taught you the football IQ?
Ed Reed.
Had to be since I was 7. You know, everybody along the lines from 7 to 22, you know, helped me with that, because it was not always about, you know, the physical stuff too. Because being from Miami, that's one of the things you almost gotta have, you know, because of course at 7 years old, you're not out there, you know, scheming stuff up or nothing. You're just going out there playing football. But you just understand the little stuff, like what people lined up at and stuff like that, you know, just learn away. Coaches always try to explain that to you, but sometimes kids don't understand. They be thinking it's too much or whatever like that. But once you kind of grasp that aspect of the game, everything else gonna come easier.
Cam Kitchens. So really this defensive group as a whole, and just this draft class, and really, you know, just this rookie class, I should say, Sarah, I've been really pleased with them. And they're earning their confidence. These guys work really hard throughout the course of the week. They're earning their confidence, and it's really fun to see the maturation and the growth as we go week to week.
Let me check out their draft class real quick. Rams draft class. We know they got Jared Verse. He been playing well. With their second round pick, they got Braden Fisk. He been playing well, 3 sacks. Impressive for a rookie. Blake Corum, you know, he looked good while he was out there. He looked very similar to other running backs they got. You know, Kyron and him, they look very similar in regards to their playing style. They do. So I do see why the Rams picked him in this draft. You know, they picked him before Cameron Kitchens. He should have been like a first-round pick based on what he doing. Should have been a first-round pick. Brennan Jackson, I think he on the practice squad or injury. Once he goes in, y'all gonna know a lot about him. Once he goes in, I'm telling y'all right now. Buick Slimmer, he been getting some starts at center, so this is a good pickup. KT Leviston, he been on the IR, but we're gonna see what he does when he gets off of IR. We're gonna see. I like them as a prospect, so this was a pretty good draft by the Rams. Pretty good draft. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
You guys paid a pretty heavy price in draft capital to trade up for Braden. Is this kind of what you were hoping for when you thought about pairing the two of them together?
Yeah, I think, you look at it and there's always these draft charts, different things like that. When we were able to get Jared, and then, you look at the really consistent across the board love that we had for Braden Fisk, wanted to figure out a way to be able to go get him and pair him up with some of the other guys that we had in-house. When you look at Kobe Turner and Bobby Brown, and then, being able to see both Kobe and Byron in their second years and what Michael Hoyt can do as a versatile chess piece. And so he's done a really good job, and he's been so steady and consistent, Sarah. I mean, this guy's demeanor, he loves the game, he loves to compete, and I think he's getting more and more comfortable, and I think he's really understanding, what we're trying to get done. And I can't say enough of the job that Chris and our defensive coaches have done to put these guys in good spots.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jordan, shout out to that DC.
Hey, Sean, just real quick on Trey White. Do you guys expect to have anything done by the deadline tomorrow with him?
There's a possibility. Les has had some dialogues with some teams, so those are very fluid conversations. So there is a possibility, but nothing is imminent as of right now.
And they traded that boy for a 7th round pick. Tried him. Tried him, man. They wanted to get rid of Trey White. Most definitely, man. But we're going to see what he does with the Ravens, But that's a good sign, but a bad sign. I don't think if Tre'Davious White was out there, he has some history with the Buffalo Bills and the Dolphins, so that could have been a good thing for them. But trade deadline was right before we play the Rams, so good job, good timing, good timing.
Outside of Trey, which you guys have been public about that situation, is there anybody else or any other potential acquisition that you guys have discussed that we should be preparing for?
No, there hasn't been anything that we've really talked about. Nothing of that nature. But Trey is a guy that I know there's been some dialogue between Les and Kevin, his agent, and so we'll see if anything ends up coming to fruition.
And then I might have to ask you this again next week in case you haven't, but have you ever, when you guys are watching your cut-ups and Dan makes you guys the reels and things like that, have you ever watched how Giff Smith is on the sideline, like how his actions and what he does on the sideline?
Oh yeah, I mean the one of my favorite things is just to watch the sideline in general, and some of the reactions, and you can see how invested guys are, and then you're feeling that in the moment, just these guys are in it with them, and they want to see them do well so badly because of the work and the love that they have for these guys. So. Giff is one of many coaches that, you can see they're living and dying with these guys every play.
And then kind of to something you mentioned last week, or maybe it was the week before, on Jared's personality. And you have a couple of guys now who are coming out of their shell who you've had in your building since their rookie season. And you've also been around guys, whether you've acquired them or whether you came in, whether it was the Aaron and you came in and you got to know him when he was already so established, or like a Jaylen who you kind of drew comparison personality-wise with Jared. Sure. And you got to know them as stars. What are you learning from these young guys who are becoming names in this league, whether it's Puka, now Jared's getting a lot of buzz, Braden? What are you learning from meeting them as very young people and growing with them or watching them grow from a different perspective?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think what you're learning is how to cultivate the authenticity that they came in with and make sure that there's a humility, and not even a humility because these guys naturally have it, but an ability to not let the external circumstances or the positive praise or affirmation or the pressure that accompanies once you establish yourself as somebody to change that in any way. Remain that internally secure person and that refreshingly authentic person through a lot of the things that make this league great, but can also water you down if you get caught up in it. And so I think there's a internal security and a comfort and a confidence that is from the natural things that come into who they are as human beings and the atmospheres and environments they've been a part of. And you want to make sure that you build on that as opposed to restricting their ability to let circumstances change the beauty of what they are while also remaining humble and continuing to ascend in the direction that you want.
Hey, this is how a coach supposed to sound. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Hey, the Rams lucked up getting this guy. Now you understand why he got a Super Bowl. Just hearing him talk, man.
And with Trey White, is there a possibility if you guys aren't able to work out a deal that you would release him and let him shop?
We haven't gotten to that part yet. You know, I wouldn't rule out anything, but we haven't had those types of conversations. It's just been about, you know, whether or not we find a partner for him, because like you've heard me say, I've been incredibly impressed with the professionalism and what a stud. I mean, one of my favorite things, Jordan was asking about Gift Smith yesterday, but watching how into it Trey White was on some of the different plays and the excitement. You know, you watch him on Tyler Johnson's catch on the sideline, the first, you know, play of the offensive possession in overtime. It speaks a lot to the human being and the man he is, and what a great player he's been in this league. But I got a ton of respect for I've learned a lot more about how he's handled this, and that says as much as anything to me over the last month. And he is a stud in every sense of the word.
And why you traded him?
An update on Ethan Evans. Will he be available this week?
Why you traded him? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. He has high praise for Tre'Davious White, probably the best cornerback that they got on their current roster, but they let him go. There's something wrong with him. Something wrong, man. I don't know if he's going to be able to save the Ravens. I don't think so.
You know, we talk a lot about the youngest defensive, you know, edge rushers and linemen with Braden and even Kobe. But it strikes me, you know, on that fourth down stop, Bobby Brown was credited with
huge
Omar in that. So I'm just curious what's your evaluation of how Bobby has played this season? And you know,
I think Bobby's done a great job, Gary. I think, you know, really after the first couple weeks, we really challenged our front to step up, especially in some of those early down situations. And I think Bobby has been at the forefront of a lot of the early down efficiency that's earned us the opportunity to be aggressive in some of those known pass situations, whether that be second downs or some of the third downs. Bobby was great yesterday. I thought he knocked out the run in early downs, played with great hands, you know, was able to, you know, show some great range down the line of scrimmage. That play in particular was a huge play by him. And then for Omar to be able to have that kind of violence on his arrival. But those two guys, I mean, that's a game-winning play right there. When you really look at that sequence leading up to it, the tackle by Cam Kitchens to be able to get it to a third down and one, and then what Jared Verse makes on the 3rd and 1, and then what those two guys you just mentioned, in addition to the rest of the front on 4th and 1. What a cool example of guys making them snap it one more time, complimentary football, and then 4 plays later, Demarcus Robinson's making a catch in the end zone, and the Rams are going crazy. So that was pretty cool, Gary. And Bobby's done great.
And everything working well for this team. Everything working well. So shout out to Les Snead for drafting these players. Shout out to Sean McVay coaching them. Them boys doing a good job. This is why they got an extension, and this is why they got a ring.